speculation surrounding MB. Is he going to testify in this case? Joining me outside the courthouse, Gene Casares, correspondent for In Session on True TV. Also, Justin Leto, a trial attorney. Gene, I want to start with you. Who is MB?
MB is the guest that Tyler Clemente had in his room. MB is going to be a witness in this trial. No one knows who MB is. We will not learn his name. But as I was listening to all of that, Ryan, I immediately said to myself, how do they have such a clear description of him? They said they turned the screen on for 2 seconds and then turned it off, and it was sort of fuzzy video. How did they know to describe this man so well?
That's very interesting. Only 2 seconds, and they all picked up that much information. And, you know, Gene, as I understand it, you spoke to his lawyer, and he talked about his client, MB. Let's play some of that sound and get some perspective on this man.
There are reports that say that he's married, and that is one reason why he doesn't want to come forward.
I don't believe my client is married.
In a serious relationship?
I don't believe that either. I haven't asked specifically the question, but I don't believe that. It's amazing how people can jump to assumptions and conclusions. I don't believe that's the case.
You know, Gene, I can imagine that his lawyer obviously doesn't want him to have to testify here. What is his lawyer especially concerned about if MB should testify?
That his identity will get out because he doesn't want his identity out. He wants to remain private. He never dreamed that he would be a witness in a very serious trial, a precedent-setting trial, truly, Ryan. This is invasion of privacy and also bias charges. Was it a hate crime to set up that camera positioned at Tyler Clemente when he brought in a friend that the defendant believed was going to be a gay encounter?
You know, Justin Leto, why do we have to bring MB forward and have him testify? I mean, he's concerned about his identity getting out there. Why do we have to have him forward and testify if this is an invasion of privacy and bias intimidation case as it relates to Tyler Clemente? Was Tyler Clemente's privacy invaded? Was there intimidation against Tyler Clemente, not against MB? Why must he have to come into this trial?
Well, I think the reason why they're bringing him into the trial is because unfortunately, because of the sad circumstances surrounding Mr. Clemente's death, we don't have the victim here to testify about it. And the truth is that this gentleman, MB, his privacy may have been invaded as well if they could show that. I think in the opening, they referred to him as one of the victims too, because obviously, you know, his face is on the video, or not the video, but on the webcam. So it might be the prosecution's only way to put a live person on the stand to talk directly to the jury about how this invasion of privacy may have affected him and has affected his life. So it just seems to me is the only way for the jury to hear directly from someone who was in that room.
All right, Gene, one more thing here. You know, so much of this case is supposed to be about Darren Ravi. The idea was that even Tyler Clemente's suicide wouldn't come into this case. But I think as many people in the community look at this case and they still feel the pain of what happened to Tyler Clemente, what I see is more and more witnesses taking the stand, talking about the private moments that Tyler Clemente had with this MB. Now, that may be an essential part of this case, but can you give us a sense of the community reaction to this stuff coming in about Tyler Clemente almost further invading his privacy?
You know, I think this community has lived with this case for a long time. The courtroom is packed. To get into the courthouse every day is packed. And MB is listed in the indictment. So this is truly an alleged victim, a living alleged victim. And several times in the courtroom today, I heard these witnesses say on the stand, these students or former students, that Tyler went missing, didn't know where Tyler was, then found out Tyler had committed suicide. So the jury's hearing all that. I think they're going to get an instruction, though, that they cannot use that in their deliberations.
All right, Gene Casares, thank you so much. Justin Leto, stick around for a little bit, because coming up, folks, we're going to